Martinmere is one of 10 WWT sites, the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust. We have 10 sites around the UK. We've got 6 in England, 1 in Scotland, 1 in Northern Ireland and 1 in Wales. We're a wetland conservation organisation, so Martinmere is a 700-acre wetland site. It's a really important site for wildlife, and always has been since the Ice Age. It used to be the biggest lake in England, and the current mere, as we call it, is what's left of that huge, great big lake. Lots and lots of birds come here, especially in the winter. We get hooper swans and pink-footed geese, which come from Iceland. They've gone back to Iceland for the summer, and now we've got all the summer visitors. Lots of avocets have arrived. We've got some waders passing through on migration at the moment because it's Easter time. And then the other day I heard a cuckoo out on the reed bed, because cuckoos like reed beds, and we get willow warblers and sedge warblers and all those sorts of things coming through. And so we manage the habitats with the help of a herd of cows to benefit these birds. WWT is involved all over the world and with lots and lots of conservation projects, including rescuing species from extinction. When Peter Scott began the organisation in the 1940s, one of the first things he did was bring back a pair of Hawaiian geese, or nenes, to the UK. The Hawaiian geese were very nearly extinct. There were only about 30 left in the entire world, so he brought a pair back to Britain which started to breed in captivity, and now we've been able to reintroduce this species to parts of the Hawaiian Islands.
I visit the Martinmere Centre because when I was younger I used to have a really fun time, so nowadays I come my little brother because I think he'll have just as good as a time, if not better, since they have upgraded everything.
The children are off, my grandchildren, and I brought them today to see the birds. We had not much to do today, so we thought we'd come and see the wildlife.
As a member of the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust, I like to go down to the reserve just to do a little bit of bird watching, but also to just take time out of kind of your normal daily routine, which can be quite hectic in today's society.
It's a good day out and you can see all the wildlife.
One of Peter Scott's reasons for setting up this organisation the way he did was he wanted WWT to be accessible to people. So he wanted people to learn something while they were on our sites, but also to have fun, and it all has to be supported by sound science, and what we do is nature conservation, so the fun and the learning helps people to understand nature conservation. So it's Easter at the moment, so at the moment we've got our giant plastic duck hunt. So what people do is they have to track down the giant plastic ducks on this trail and write down all their names. They'll find there's one for each letter of the alphabet, apart from one which is missing. That's all they have to do. So it's a really simple activity to get kids exploring the site. We have pond dipping on at the moment. We have a craft room open. Of course, we've got the gift shop and the restaurant. We've got a really excellent gift shop and restaurant which people can visit while they're here. So it's a big visitor centre based around nature conservation, but we do lots of engaging activities to try and enable people to have fun while they're here and learn something at the same time.
When I was younger it used to be the flamingos and the play park, but nowadays it's the eco garden where it's nice and peaceful with a nice surrounding.
I love the storks. I think they're very majestic, they're lovely, the kids enjoyed them. We fed the ducks, we went into the craft centre and they made pictures of ducks. They've made drawings and they've absolutely loved it.
The favourite area that I like in the centre is the Ron Barker Hide, which is down the far side of the reserve. It's often very quiet, not many people come down there, so you don't get a lot of the normal tourists coming down there. It's really peaceful, but also you get a lot of good sightings of good and different birds down there, and you can also see some different mammals and things in the fields around that hide.
I like the duck area, but the main duck I like is Indian runner ducks.
The next big event at Martinmere is our Fluffy Duckling Week. One of the things that we do is rearing birds in captivity, sometimes to make sure they don't become extinct in the wild. And so we're going to open up the duckling nursery so people can go in and actually see how it is, how we look after the ducks, how we hatch the eggs, how we rear them. So people will be able to come to a little workshop where they can see inside an egg with the help of a special torch. They'll be able to see tiny one-day-old ducklings in a little brooder. They'll be able to watch eggs hatching on a big screen, and they'll be able to visit the duckling nursery to see different species at different stages of development. We have a lot of school groups that come to Martinmere, lots and lots of school parties. We have about 10,000 school children a year come through the centre. An awful lot of them come between April and July in the summer term. Winter's a good time to come as well though, because that's when we have the exciting huge flocks of geese and swans and ducks from the north. We've got about 20 different educational programmes, guided learning sessions as we call them, which schools do while they're here. Occasionally schools want to do a self-guided visit, but mostly they want our input into an hour of guided learning sessions, which can be based around topics around birds or plants or mammals. We look at themes like adaptation and food chains, ecosystems. We've got a session on the water cycle, lots and lots of different sessions, all of which fit in with the science curriculum, also geography, and the history visits as well for schools. We open up our roundhouse village so we can do Vikings or Saxons, or Celts and Romans, or early Celts. And so about 10,000 school children a year come here, and we're always looking for more. More children are always welcome. It's always nice when we get a new school.